Social studies is an integrated category of education subjects that brings together disciplines within the social sciences, humanities, and history. It can cover a wide range of topics that relate to the world in the past, present, and future. The program is designed to help students gain the skills and knowledge to become engaged, active, informed, and responsible citizens in their future. With Canada being a multicultural mosaic and comparatively new country in the modern world, it is important for students to see where they and others fit into the picture of the world. Citizenship and identity have been chosen as core concepts for the curriculum as they emphasize so much of the Canadian past and spirit. The attitudes, skills, and knowledge which help achieve the program vision of future citizens can all be connected to more specific concepts under the umbrellas of citizenship and identity. These include, among others, diversity and respecting differences, promoting belonging and acceptance, building of multiculturalism, inclusiveness, and democracy. Social studies can be the bridge for students to not only understand and participate in their world, but one day be able to have an effect or change it. A closet can be a very personal space within one's life. Although much of what is kept within a closet is of materialistic value for the possessor, what is contained in it becomes very much a part of and representation of their identity. Everything they connect to can become part of their identity. A large part is also embedded in the culture that a person inhabits, and a large part of culture is how they are seen by others. A closet can also be a metaphorical place for an individual. For example, an individual who is homosexual coming out of the closet can be a challenging and impactful moment in their life. This notion of having to come out of the closet represents a societal belief that the metaphorical closet is a hidden or personal part of someone. Today, at least in the Western world, a person has the choice of what can come out of their closet for the world to see. Identity is a very personal connection to what it is that makes you an individual, as well as a member of multiple social groups or communities. In the program Vision for Social Studies from Alberta Education, citizenship and identity are shaped by multiple factors such as culture, language, environment, gender, ideology, religion, spirituality, and philosophy. The metaphorical and literal interpretations of what is in a person's closet can reflect all of these areas in meaningful ways. By understanding the similarities and differences among cultures, education that welcomes identity into conversation can allow students to value the diversity, respect the dignity, and support the equality of all human beings.
Identity can be rooted in a profession, a place, and in memories. This is a picture of my family's farm. Farming has been in my family for many generations, and we take great pride in our ability to be successful and to live off the land. My family's farm is an important aspect of my identity, and I am proud of our contributions to society when working with crops and cattle. My farm is where I find my spiritual peace, and growing up with a close connection to the land helped to mold me into the person I became today. The land has always had important implications to the people that live on and work closely with it, and understanding that relationship is a large part of the social studies curriculum. My connection to the farm directly reflects two strands of the social studies curriculum: the land, places, and people, and culture and community. Agriculture is one of the largest industries in Alberta, and this photo ties into the historical identity of the province, which is also depicted on the Alberta flag. This photo of the view demonstrates the unique relationship that people have with the land, the ability to create community and a collective identity, and the alternative perspectives and a deeper understanding of how natural resources affect all aspects of life.
Trees are typically seen as a metaphor for life, but I also associate them as part of my identity. I grew up in a logging community on Vancouver Island, and trees have always played a large role in my life. They are a source of income, a source of heat, my playground, and the scenery around the community. Everyone has a notion of home, and this picture identifies mine. Evergreens are hardy trees, and they continue to grow and adapt to their environment until they die. And this is a good metaphor for Canadian identity, as people are always changing, learning, adapting to extreme weather, and becoming more socially aware. And that is important to continue doing throughout your entire life. With Canada's diverse landscapes, many people have very different notions of beauty, which makes it important to acknowledge other people's views, ideas, and identity.
This photograph is a representation of the types of documents and identification a person can receive as a citizen of a country. Some require tests or for an individual to prove eligibility, but all are given through either the national government of Canada or from the provincial government where a person resides. Although I have received these simply for being born here, as there was no struggle or conflict in getting them, much outside of administrative paperwork, I also have a responsibility by having them. Being a legal citizen of Canada allows me certain privileges and rights that others cannot receive. I am aware of the position I have above a majority of the rest of the world, and I'm grateful to be able to call myself a Canadian citizen. This photograph represents the official recognition of citizenship on a global level. As an opportunity in the classroom, it allows for the discussion of inequalities among countries, of what it means to be a citizen around the world. Students should understand what freedoms being a Canadian allows them. It is also important to teach students about the past of citizenship within the country, the discrepancies that existed and in some instances still exist. Comparing and contrasting these differences around the world and within our own country can be applied to a number of points within the social studies curriculum. The opportunity is not just for understanding, but the process of being able to recognize and responsibly address injustices as they occur in their schools, communities, Canada, and the world. It is the students of today that can change the world of tomorrow.
This is a picture of the Brentwood Community Gardens. Families in the community can rent plots to grow their own produce. The Community Association is actively working to create a sense of belonging within the community. The garden uses sustainable practices to reduce waste through composting and also reserve a plot to donate to the food bank. I believe that the community affects citizenship, and the type of environment that children are raised in affects their view of a responsible citizen. This community garden creates a vibrant social community and is creating participatory citizens, and through donations to the food bank is participating in the democratic practice of social action. In grades 1 to 3, the concept of community is introduced and examined through the lens of active and responsible citizenship, how a community changes over time, and comparing and contrasting their understanding of a community and citizen interaction through examining diverse communities in the world.
The Energy Environment Experiential Learning Building, or better known as EEL, is a building that encompasses sustainability and action. As citizens, we need to critically consider the social and environmental implications of our resource use. EEL uses a variety of sustainable practices such as thermal mass, natural ventilation, harvesting solar energy, and collecting and reusing rainwater. This building challenges our current standards in construction, but these practices are crucial for the preservation of our way of life and the natural resources that Canada provides us. The conservation of our natural environment through sustainable practices is a part of Canadian and global citizenship.
Identity and citizenship are two sides of the same coin. It's hard to discuss one without discussing the other, because they both affect each other. Identity is shaped by the clothes and memories that are stored in your closet, and the places and things that remind you of home. Citizenship is found in the documents we carry, the community we interact with, and the environment we preserve for future generations. We as Canadians can proudly say that we live in a country that is like no other. Our people are an amazing mosaic of cultural differences and perspectives that call this beautiful nation home.